Hey guys, welcome back to day 9 of 25 Days of Christmas with TJ 2023. So far we've been looking at a lot of my modern road diesels, and we're going to continue along with that today. And we're going to take a look at my pair of CSX AC6000s. These are MTH Premier models. The 601 right here is a 5-volt model from the early 2000s, and the 5000 unit is a 3-volt model from the later mid to late 2000s. The 601 was my very first CSX engine, and I think it was my first Premier engine when I was a kid. It was featured last year. Can't remember which day it was, but it was featured last year in the 25 Days of Christmas. But the 5000 unit was actually recently added this year, back in September when I went down to Florida. Tom and I went to a gentleman's house and bought some trains from him, and it was by far the most insane train layout I'd ever seen. It was so much to take in. He literally had trains on the floor from 6 inches off the floor to a 1/4 inch from the ceiling and everywhere in the train room. What was really interesting is that he ran the trains in conventional, no command system or anything like that. So there was a bunch of modern Legacy and MTH Premier engines and Atlas Masterline engines, pulling 30, 40 car trains doing 100 scale miles an hour around the place. It was crazy. And I mean, anything and everything you could think of, the guy had. It was the most insane collection I think I've ever seen. And Tom, if you're watching, I'm sure you'll comment on it and agree with me that it was a lot. But he had some really cool stuff. He was parting ways with some things, so Tom and I took some stuff, and that AC6000 actually came out of that collection. And I mean, if you're an Atlas fan, this was like heaven. I mean, he had every possible thing you could think of for Atlas rolling stock. But Tom and I walked out of there with a handful of engines. I picked up this AC6000, a YN3-8, and some other things. And absolutely love the engines. They're cool. They're awesome. It was a great price. It was, just a great experience overall. Really cool to be able to see that layout and, just seeing an amazing collection. And it was really nice of him to be able to part ways with some of it for Tom and I. But so I figured today we'll just do a double trouble video of my original MTH Premier AC6000 and the AC6000 that I got back in September. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a closer look at these pair of engines. So here is my original AC6000 from when I was a kid. It is the 601 Spirit of Waycross. It is a 5-volt engine. It is a little rough around the edges. She's old and she survived my childhood, but she's still here, still kicking. Probably this is the engine I would say that contributed to my love for CSX. It kind of started me down that path. So it's definitely an engine I don't think I'll ever get rid of. It is one of my originals from when I was a kid, so it's got to stick around. But I really think it's cool to have one of the tagged engines that's the Spirit of or whatever. And the engine that pairs with it is the 5000. Now this is one of the rebuild engines from when CSX first started doing the rebuild programs on the AC6000s. Obviously it's got the diversity in motion badge on the side. And you can see that they retooled a little bit. Trucks are a little bit nicer looking. There's a couple other different things that are different between the two engines. But overall, I mean, you just can't go wrong with an MTH Premier model. And the Spirit of Waycross pairs really nice with my AC44, the Spirit of the Clinchfield. And obviously the 5000 engine being a special badged engine, it goes all well with the collection. But let's go ahead and get these two fired up and run around the layout.